The opinions expressed in this video are my own and not those of SMA News Today, its parent company BioNews, or any other organization. These videos are intended to spark discussion about issues pertaining to spinal muscular atrophy and are not meant to be professional medical advice. Now, enjoy the video. Welcome to Dose of DN, where you'll get a little shot of what my life is like living with SMA. I am a self-proclaimed homebody, which I know if you followed me for a while, you know that I don't travel long distances. So, when Cure SMA offered a travel support package, I did hesitate in snagging one. However, a couple things changed my mind, and I'll share that with you. One is that it was sponsored by the pharmaceutical company. So, why not? And then I thought a lot of the items listed I don't necessarily need to travel to make use of. So today I thought it'd be fun to do an unboxing video and see what came with the package. I had my caregiver open the box, and there was a box in a box, so she opened that as well. But we'll see how easy it is for me to show you these things on my own. I don't have anyone here with me, so hopefully this will work out. But I'll be back in just a second with the first item. Alright, the first item I grabbed here is a memory foam twist support pillow, or travel pillow. And I do think that even though I don't travel, I think this will be really useful in a home setting. I know sometimes in bed, if you need a little extra support behind your back or under your legs or, around your neck, I think it would be really helpful for that. I don't know if you can see it very well in the packaging, but I'm kind of excited to try this. So I think it'll be very useful if you travel or if you don't. What in the world is this, you might ask? Well, this is a twist and lock stool. It's compact when it's all in its closed form, so it makes it easier for travel. And then you can easily untwist it and pop it up to use as a stool. I do believe that this would be more beneficial to those of you who are ambulatory. But as someone who doesn't travel, I do think it still might be fun to use, I don't know, as a plant stand. Or, just if you want something raised up a little bit higher, it might be helpful in that aspect. I don't know. I do think this is an interesting choice, but I want to know, do you think it's beneficial, or is it one of those items that's going to get tucked away and not used? But I think if you don't use it yourself, feel free to regift something like this if you know someone who could make use of it, or use it for other things like I mentioned. The next item was an optional item in the travel package, but I did opt to choose it because I can see that it would come in handy on occasion. This is a travel sling, or, let's see, what did they call it? Let's see. Portable transfer sling is what they called it. And, I'm going to turn it around to the back because you can kind of see they show from a 2-person transfer all the way to a 4-person transfer over there on how you can use it most beneficial. But as far as traveling, I think this would be really handy, especially because, as you know, you cannot stay in your wheelchair on an airplane yet, which I think is the most ridiculous thing in the world. But since you have to transfer from your wheelchair to the aisle chair, and then from the aisle chair to the seat, and then from the seat back to the aisle chair, and then from the aisle chair back to your wheelchair, something like this would be very useful. I don't know that airports have lifts. I don't know if they do or not. I don't think they do. And it's very uncomfortable for me when other people are transferring me. So I can see where this would be very useful if you do travel. But the reason that I chose to select this item in my package is because there are very rare occasions, but there are occasions where you do need to transfer out of your wheelchair and there is not a lift available. Some doctor's offices don't have lifts, dentist offices don't have lifts. And if you have something like this, it does make it a lot easier to transfer when you have a couple people helping you. I also thought it would be handy in that just in case emergency where something would happen and I don't know, you'd fall or something like that. If there isn't a lift available, you at least have this sling as an option to help get you back in your chair if you would need it. The next item I have here is a pack of 5 pocket sleeves. And the intended purpose of this is so that you can print out instructions on handling your wheelchair and attach it to your chair when you travel. Like I said, you cannot stay in your chair on an airplane. So that means your chair has to either go in cargo or who knows where. And with instructions on proper care, hopefully it will minimize the risk of damage to your chair. And I believe Cure SMA may have some printables that you can print off to go in here. I'm not exactly positive, but they do have a lot of travel information. So be sure to check that out. It might make your next trip easier. As for me, I am a crafter, so these are definitely going to come in handy for my crafting. The next item they included were these 6-inch wire keychain cables. And they're intended to go with the pocket sleeves so you can attach it to your chair and not have it rip off or have it be a little more durable. And I think they'll be useful for that. However, like I said, I'll probably use those for crafting. And these will probably come in handy because I like doing things with plants or who knows. These could come in handy in a lot of variety of situations. So I think these will be kind of an interesting item. And last but certainly not least, the whole reason that I signed up for the travel package is an Apple AirTag and AirTag holder. Now this is intended because you cannot stay in your wheelchair on an airplane and who knows where that your wheelchair ends up. Well, with an AirTag, it'll give you a little bit of peace of mind that your wheelchair won't get lost. Anyway, that's what it's intended for. But like I said, until you can stay in your chair on an airplane, I won't be flying anytime soon. And so I intend on using this for other purposes. I might still put it on my wheelchair because I do like that idea. It does give you anxiety when you're separated from your wheelchair. And I had an incident when I was a kid where we went camping and we had to charge my wheelchair outside the tent. Some kids were going to take my wheelchair for a joyride before my dad stopped them. And if I had an AirTag on my chair, at least if something would happen, I would know where it is. And there are instances, like when I was getting my Spinraza injections in the hospital, where I start out at point A, get transferred from my wheelchair, go to point B, maybe to C or D, and my wheelchair is still at point A, or who knows where, because did it get to where I need it to be? At least with an AirTag, you have a little bit of peace of mind that way. And there are occasions as well where I have to send my wheelchair in for repairs. And it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind knowing where your chair is. So I do definitely think this is a good item to have in the travel package, regardless if you travel or not. I want to know, with all of these items, is there anything that's a complete miss that you don't think should have been included? Or is there something that wasn't included that maybe if you're a traveler you think is a necessity? I want to know. Let me know in the comments below or over on the forums at smanewstoday.com/forums. But I want to thank Cure SMA for putting this together. I know I'll make use of it regardless of if I travel or not, and I hope others do as well. I'll put a link below if it's still available, and if not, they also have resources for making travel easier, so I definitely recommend checking it out. But that's all I have for you today. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.